Hey folks, it's day 47, part 2 of our devlog, and tonight we are going to be having a look at removing items from our inventory when we use them. So let's have a look at the use case. Okay, so we pick up something and it's in our inventory. Okay. We light it. And it's still in our inventory. So what we want to do here is basically take it out of our inventory. Now the first thing we need to do here is get rid of this. This is maybe something we look at later, which is our animation blueprint when a character dies. Right, but in the meantime, we basically want to remove that so that we don't get all that stuff on the screen. So let's do our thing. What we need to do is we need to go to our interactable items. Okay. And our interactable item, we can see here that we have this. Okay. Now, what we actually need to do here is this is now incorrect. Okay. We actually well, actually maybe it is correct. Hey Playboy Stacks, how you doing? And Storm, nice to see you back. Right, so our point is that what we need to do is find out what item we needed to use and then basically remove it from inventory. Okay. Now you'll notice that we've got a pickup item here, and that might lead us to adding it or removing it. Oh yeah, I just did that 5 minutes before the stream. I thought I would do a better sort of thumbnail. Right, so anyway, we're going to have a look at this pickup item, right? So in our items, we're going to look at, for example, fuel. And you'll notice here that we've got add item to inventory. Okay. Now we need to do a similar thing to this. except we need to remove the item from the inventory. Okay, so Pikachu with a sword. I don't think that's canon, but yeah, whatever. Go for it. So this is in the character. We've got an add item to inventory. Okay, so this is basically in our pawn. So we're going to basically create an inverse of that, which is going to be a remove item from inventory. Okay, so it looks like this is actually a custom event. Except it's not. Well, it's going to be okay, so I'm going to look for add item. Let's find out where that is. It's in here. Okay, to inventory. Yeah, pretty much. Right, so I was actually expecting this to be in the pawn, which ain't. Okay, so I tell you what, we're going to add a breakpoint in here to find out exactly where this is going. It's BP interactable item. Okay, so there we go. So basically we're going to say remove well, we're not actually going to do it there, right, because it doesn't make any sense to do it there, because that's in the BP interactable. At that particular point we haven't got a BP interactable, right, so it's actually an inventory item at this point. In fact, yeah, okay, so we're going to do this in the pawn, right, so the pawn is going to have a function, and it's going to be remove item from inventory. Okay, we're going to save that, and we're going to get new inventory. We're going to do a for each loop, I haven't even got this set up, I just know that we're going to need this anyway, because I want to know what this struct looks like. So well, that's interesting. So let's do inventory. Right, so it's this. For each break that interactable row number, and we might be using item type. Okay, so we're basically going to be using item types here. So we'll delete that. Okay. Save that for now. And now we're going to go in here. And we are going to items, okay, now the interesting thing here is we're going to parse into an array. We're going to do that. Then we're going to do for each okay, and these are item types. So what we're going to need is an equals a right. Okay, we're going to need something different here. We need if we turn item names, that gives us that. Right, basically what we need is we need another function. It needs to return us the it needs to return us an array of the item type and the quantity. Okay, so this is fine. But what we need to do is duplicate this. And say, and quantity. So we're going to say array. We're going to have a local variable. Wait a minute. Okay, we're going to have a local variable. You can say R quantity. Okay, and that and item type and quantity. Okay, save that, get that, and we're going to clear it. Apparently we're not. That's because we didn't set it to an array. So we're setting it to array. Right, clear. Okay. Delete that. That's going to go in there. That's going to go there. We're doing as we did before, right? But at the end of this, we're basically doing get and then add unique. Okay, going to delete that. We're going to redirect this to here. Then we're going to delete that. Okay. Then we're going to make that, and quite simply, in fact, we don't even need to do that, right? All we need to do is that. Right, so that's pretty simple so far. Then at the end, we don't even need to do any of that. We delete this, we return this, and that just basically goes. Okay, hang on a second. Our output we're just going to call it R type and quantity. And item type and quantity. We're going to delete these two. That can go directly in there. going to click on that again, and that is an array. That goes in there. Save that. And beautiful, we've got another little helper. Santa's little helper. Cool. So next we can go back to our interactable item. Right, we can remove that. We can remove that. Okay. We can save that. We've got our ref car. Okay, and we can say remove item from inventory. We're going to change this to this array. So we're going to say required, or more importantly, return array item types and quantity. We're going to say return array item types and quantity. That's going to go there. Then we're going to go to here. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add an input again, okay? We don't need the pawn because the pawn's getting passed in anyway. Or sorry, we're actually running this on the pawn. Wait a minute. Is this on? Ah, okay. So we are going to pass in the pawn. Okay. Okay. So we have an item number. Okay, so what we actually need here is we need a remove item type from inventory. Okay, which we don't need to do in our pawn, so we can actually remove that. Right? Remove item type from inventory. Okay. So what we're going to actually do here is we're going to delete that. Okay. And then we're not going to have this. Right? So we'll add this. and we'll call it R types. And that's the right thing. Then we're going to remove that, and we're going to remove that, and then we're going to move that to the top. Okay, then we're going to go into here, we're going to delete that, we're going to delete that, remove item type from inventory. Okay, then we're going to get a reference to our pawn. Hi, Sinistro TV. No, it's Unreal 4.27. But I'm guessing you already knew that. Okay, so we're removing item types of inventory. And yeah, so let's work on that, shall we? So, back from here. We're going to do a for each on this. Once it's complete, it's complete. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a break on that. Okay. And we'll just gradually move our way along, right? Because we're mental like that. Right, so for each of these, we're going to have to check our inventory. Okay. And for each of these, right, okay. Doom, bang. See you later. Okay. We're going to have to do a break on this. Now, we have got an item type, which is awesome. We can basically say equals, hide that, get that to there, and if it equals that, all good and well. Right, and then we branch to there, which is fine, and I'm beginning to regret deleting that stuff, but anyway, we can get it back kinda. If we go remove item from inventory, right, we can kinda get this back. And have a look at it. So we can copy that. Now we are going to be ending up doing this slightly different, but bear with me. Right, so we're going to pump that back in there. Now the interesting thing is we've done our first, we've done this part, okay? Now, the interesting thing is we're going to be deleting this. And we're going to be showing quantity, or we're going to be needing quantity, let me say that. Okay. So I take it you like using Unreal Engine 5 Thinnest Row TV. Which, nothing wrong with that. If that is your want, we're going to put that back in. Right, so if that equals that, we do that. Okay, and this index goes in here. This goes to true, and I believe that might be us. Or maybe not. Right, we might need to a couple of other things here. That and that. So the name is going to go there. Interactable row is going to be there. And then we can do that. Are you okay? And actually, what we should have done is grab that, right? This is probably a better way of doing it, is set members and inventory item. Okay, this would actually go in here, and the only thing we'd actually change is the quantity. Okay, and that quantity would go in here. Then this struct out would go here. And then we don't need any of that messiness, and that keeps it tidier for us. The only thing we actually do need to do here is plug that in there and that in there. And then that there. Okay. And if we want to tidy it up a bit, we can do that. Right, just so it's a bit clearer. I know this isn't fantastically brilliant, but anyway, what we can do is do it. Hide on that, bring that up a bit, drag this over, there we go. Okay, doesn't like that. going to delete that. We're going to say pawn. Get pawn in there. Save that. Right. Let's try it, shall we? Interactable item, definitely there. Okay. So, press play. No idea if this is going to work. Only one way to find out though. Up we get. Pick up our thing. Turn around. Light it. There we go. Inventory. It's gone. First time. Superb. Awesome. I wasn't expecting such a quick success there, to be honest. Right, let me just check something for a second. Okay. Right. So we're going to stop this for a minute. And we're going to go to interactable item. Right, now we're going to duplicate that. Okay. And we're going to branch on this. Okay. So if we don't need items, then we obviously don't need to do this, right? But if we do need items, we do need to do this, right? So basically all we need to do is copy this, save that, then go into our interactable items, base blueprints, and SK. And go to our event graph. Right, we need I'm not 100% sure yet if we actually do have a skeletal mesh that needs to be removed. So I'm going to leave this for now, okay? I can just copy the code straight across from our other one to do this, so it's not such a big issue. Let me just have a look here. Right, that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I think we can leave it as is for now. because none of our skeletal mesh items are necessarily that you need they're needed as a resource to use them, right? If we come across something, we can always add the code in. It's not going to be a huge what the heck, let's just add it in, shall we? So I'm going to say that this code is going to be exactly the same. Right, so we're going to copy that. Right. Then we are basically gonna paste that directly in. Okay. Okay. So this item data must be different. Struct interactable item. Struct interactable base data. Okay. Interactable base data. Okay. It's going to go in there, refresh that. So we're going to be breaking that. And I don't know what we need for this, so we'll just plug in that and that. Right. And that. In fact, let's face it. Right. That should just go straight in there. Right, and that can go. And that's on the begin overlap, right? So if we just check this and the other one, on the begin overlap. Yeah, it's just item data straight in. Right, so that's cool. There we go. So if you guys are enjoying the content, hit like and subscribe. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to grab a cigarette. Check out the description for links to Discord server, my personal one, and the game Discord server, plus my Patreon where you can support the channel, and finally my previous game on Steam. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we are back. Good morning, question mark, question mark, question mark. I hope you are fine, wherever you are. Right, so basically we have fixed up our remove items from inventory. And now we're going to move on to something that I am trying to avoid because it's one of my weaker suits, which is animation. But we're going to have to do it, I'm afraid, right? So we're going to take our cue from this animation graph here. Okay. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting. Right, okay. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to do something similar to this, except on a much lower level with our animals. Okay, so let's test this out and see how it goes. This could go really bad or it could go really good. My money's on bad. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to break that off. Right, we're going to save that. Then we're going to go back to our pawn. Right, this is where the fun starts. We need this to run in this slot, okay? So we basically need our deer. We need our stag death. Right, we need an anim slot manager. And we're gonna have to add a slot called upper body. Okay. And we need this to run in the upper body. Okay. Now, if we go back to the blueprint, we can get this and do this for our stag. That's actually called full body. Right. The next thing we need to do is go back to here Can we rename it? Yeah. What was it called? Full body. Full body. It does. Right, okay. Okay, whatever. Right. Can I delete that? Delete that slot, right? So we've got a full body slot. Right? Save that. And now what we want to do, right, is create a montage. Okay. Then this is going to play in the full body slot. Okay. We save that. Okay. And we didn't actually want to close that down. Now, if I get this to work, it'll be a miracle. Right, but we're basically going with this again. Right? And then we copy that. Okay, this might not work, but we'll try it anyway. We're trying. And we get a pose. Now this will override if it's playing a montage, right? If we play the upper this, or it should. Okay. So if we go back to here, right? And if we delete that, okay, now here's the interesting part, or not, as the case may be. If we can do this a couple of ways, right? But what we can do is go to the event graph, right? And then we can see is dead. Right? And we can branch on that. Right? And then if this is true, we play montage. Okay. And we basically select that one. Okay. Let's try that, shall we? Okay, what's going on there? That's interactable base stuff now. Right. Okay, so we've not, right, okay, so we need to do a bit of work on this. Right, well, I'm going to call it a night. It's pretty quiet, and I'm going to have to go through a bit of this. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare, because I'm going to have to reset all the montages, etc, etc. So, with that in mind, guys, I'm going to check out. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit like, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. And check out the description for links to Patreon, Discord servers, and my previous game on Steam. I hope you can join me tomorrow. Bye bye for now.